Okay, guys. Hi, everyone. Let me know if you can hear me and see me. I'm happy to be here with you guys, and we're going to discuss a lot of important topics today. So let me know if you can hear me and see me, because the last couple of times we had a little bit of problems, technical problems. So I want to make sure that everything is good. Can you see my screen? Okay, that should be good. Can you see my screen? Can you hear me good? I assume you can hear me, so I'm going to start right away. And I'm going to go through the current markets, through the US indices, what's going on here with the current sell-off. And then I'm going to discuss a couple of important topics. So those are very important, and they're all about the stages which every trader goes through, regardless how experienced, how successful you are. Every single one of us go through those stages on the yearly or 2 years basis, and we're going to discuss that. It's very important. I see here Gideon, nice to see you. How are you doing? Let me know, of course, how is your trading going. So again, very important, guys, to understand the different stages of trading. So let's start right away with that, because I think that's a very, very important topic, and unfortunately not a lot of traders are talking about that. So I decided to take a minute, and based on the current situation, it's even better to talk about this. So I assume you guys remember last year, everything was very easy to trade. You're just throwing money at everything, and everything goes straight up. So you don't have to pay attention to your stocks. Everything was like this. So you just put something and buy something, and everything goes straight up. So this is actually not a normal condition. We have in the market different stages, or how I like to call them, those are different cycles. So we're going always from an accumulation cycle where everything goes sideways for a while to a very uptrending cycle. And this uptrending cycle, that is the easiest cycle to make money. And you see that on your account, you see that on all the stocks, on the indices, everything is pretty easy. And then from this cycle, unfortunately, this ends at some point. We're entering a distribution where you see much more volatility kicks in, like right now, more choppiness on the stocks. You see something like that. And this might be the end of the uptrending cycle, or the beginning of a new uptrend and continuation. If that's the end of the uptrending cycle, that would be our distribution here, and then we will start a downtrending cycle. So in this case, again, it's important to recognize those things. And you're going to experience those stages in the market also on your emotions, because like I mentioned, there will be times in the market where you just throw money and everything works. And then there will be times where you're going to lose all or the majority of your profits, which you have made, let's say, in the past 3 months. So you might lose all those profits in a matter of weeks. And then you will be like, well, what I'm doing wrong, something is happening here, something is not working. And from there, then you will start this slowly grind up mode where you're going back from your losses and from your bigger losses which you have experienced, to going back to where you were at before that. And after that, what happens normally is you might experience, unfortunately, another move down, or another exhaustion market cycle. So what I want to tell you here, guys, this is very, very normal. This is something what happens a lot of times with a lot of traders. It happens with Cathie Wood, with Warren Buffett. All of those famous investors and traders are going through the same thing. That's because we have different cycles. Again, you cannot profit the same way you profited here. It's just much difficult during distribution or even a downtrending cycle. And the thing here is we will never get rid of that. Those cycles on the market and on your emotions, and also on your experience through all of this, this will continue and will happen over and over again. So this is nothing what it's your fault. It's not your fault that the market is in a sideways cycle. It's not your fault that we are entering a different price action. But our job as traders is, first of all, to recognize that. And the second thing is, of course, not to get destroyed through all of those drawdowns and setbacks. And most importantly, not get demotivated, because I know this can be really demotivating. You're going to ask yourself, well, I was doing so good last year, or at the beginning of the year, I was having so many profits, and then all of a sudden, all is gone. And now I'm struggling to make any profits. I have to fight for every single trade. Again, that is just part of the business, part of the game. And the earlier you recognize that, the better, because as traders, we have to live with that. And why I'm saying, you can see that, why I'm saying that it is one of or part of every investor is, like I mentioned, if you check the, for example, ARK, which is the fund of Cathie Wood, we have here same thing. You can see that also on the chart. You know, it's not only, you know, you experience this where everything goes straight up, and then all of a sudden you're losing like 30% of your gains here in the middle of a couple of months, and then you're kind of slowly starting to go back. So again, those cycles are, you can see that on the chart, you can see that on your portfolio. And our job as traders is, first of all, to accept that that is just part of the business, to experience what you experience and make the most out of it, which means just don't allow all those those losses to be bigger than the previous months where it was easy to make money. So that's the biggest challenge for all of us. And unfortunately, if you're right, you're in your beginning trader career, what happens is that you are starting trading, and maybe you have some luck that you catch exactly that cycle where everything goes straight up, and then you think, oh, I'm the next Warren Buffett. I can trade so good, everything is looking good. And people, experienced traders, are warning you, well, don't be so happy. You might experience something else in a couple of months. That's not so easy. But you're kind of new, you're experiencing a lot of profits, and you just are excited about this. And then at some point, like I mentioned, every one of us goes through that. At some point, you will give a lot of those profits back. And if you're not disciplined, unfortunately, you might give up all of your profits back, because if you get too aggressive and have no risk management at all in place, you might end up giving back all of your profits, or even end up with huge losses. So that is a very important lesson for you guys, and especially for the beginners out here. Make sure you understand that that's just part of the business. We cannot avoid those cycles. We cannot avoid going through cycles like that. What we can do, though, is to accept that and use proper risk management in order to go through those phases. If you are struggling with that or thinking that's not normal, that's just totally wrong. This is always going to support to be with us as traders. So we cannot get rid of those cycles. It is just part of the game, like I mentioned. And the earlier we recognize that, the earlier we start using proper risk management and not getting too emotional over that, the better. Because what happens, unfortunately, is, if you experience now drawdowns, and for example, you're giving back a lot of your profits, which you have made at the beginning of the year, and you're struggling, and then you think, okay, this strategy is not working, this is too hard, that's not working, I'm giving up, I don't want to do this anymore, I have to look for another mentor, I have to start looking for a better strategy, new instruments, stocks are not working, I want to start doing Forex. This is all just bullshit. It's not working like this. Even if you find something else, again, even if you find the holy grail, another mentor, another strategy, another Forex, or whatever it is hot out there, cryptocurrencies, regardless of what it is, you're always going to experience this uptrending where everything is easy to trade, to going through setbacks where if someone is just pulling everything underneath of you, and then all of a sudden you're starting to lose, to grinding slowly back up, and again to choppy market environment. This is just part of the game. So I felt like that's very important, and that's why I'm discussing that right now here with you guys. And there is a couple of ways to manage this. I'm telling you that's not easy, but there are a couple of ways to manage that. And I personally really like using trailing stops. So trailing stops can be very helpful if you are just using them, especially in market cycles, like right now, where you're securing profits faster. So right now we have very volatile kind of a cycle. For example, if you look at ES here, which is the S&P 500 futures, you see we were a couple of days in a row down. Every time it looks like it's going to bounce, it's getting sold off. So personally, I'm aware of this. I know we are right now in September, October. So September, October, November, those are historically months where you are going to see always, historically, this is nothing what I'm coming up with or someone else is telling you that. This is historically, you're going to see pullbacks or corrections on the market. So based on this information, I know that we are entering here, and based on the overextended price action, I know we're entering right now a choppier cycle. I know we're entering a corrective mode. Of course, I still need to make money in this market because I have to pay my bills. So I am going to, I have to be more careful what I'm trading. I have to be more careful with my stop losses. That's not a cycle like the beginning of the year where everything is going like that and you're just throwing money at everything. You think you're, like I said, you're the next Warren Buffett, and then you're just holding it and making money. So that's not how it works, unfortunately. What it is here, though, is that you still can make money, but it is much harder. So you are fighting for every trade very hard to make it work. You have to be much, much more precise when it comes to risk management, when it comes to stop losses, when it comes to entering positions also. So, for example, again, in uptrending cycles, breakouts are working easily. So you can even buy every single breakout would have worked. In uptrending cycles, this is not working, and I'm going to go now on the lower time frame, which is the 4 hour. Let's go even on the 1 hour chart, and we're going to see that it's just not working anymore. And what I have done for trades and how they're working and how I'm managing that in order to lock some profits faster. So again, this is only one solution of many, and we are all different traders and have different styles, different personalities. So everyone have to find something what works for them. So if this is not working for you, you need to find your niche, your style. Are you more someone who locks profit faster? What are the consequences of that? Are you okay if you are, for example, not locking in profits faster, but or if you're locking in profits faster, but everything continues to go higher and you are not part of it? How do you feel? Does that make you experience fear of missing out and jumping into the next trade very fast? So all those are factors which you need to think about when it comes to risk management. So what I wanted to share with you here, this is, for example, a cycle which was very easy on the US indices to make money. Let me zoom that in. So you see here, every single breakout is working. You see here, this is the 1 hour chart on ES, S&P 500 future. We see strong, big green candles, small corrective moves, all breakouts are holding, everything is looking very easy, continuing to the upside, breaking out, continuing higher. So again, this is all pretty easy when it comes to making money. But then at some point, like I mentioned, we are entering this kind of a sideways price action where it starts to get hard. So now all those breakouts are not working. Now the momentum is slowing down here, and those breakouts are not working. Actually, the resistance is getting rejected. Now we are entering this range price action, which is this. So we are entering what I'm always explaining. We're entering from that to this, and in this price action here, you cannot trade the same way like here. So here you need to be much quicker. You have to wait for the best and perfect entry and exited resistance, because you're in a channel trading mode. Here every single dip is bouncing, but the bounces are not as much. And I've been through all of this. I have made the same exact errors or mistakes where sometimes I'm just like, I'm holding, this is going to bounce. Normally it bounces. But look, enter, for example, here, exit here. But if you're holding and not using trailing stops, you're just going to give it all back and maybe end up with losses. So how those trailing stops help you? If you enter, for example, here around this area, support, reversal candle, you definitely have to trail the stop, which means, what does that mean? This means that you are, let's zoom that in, you are putting your stop, you're moving your stop up and you're securing your profits. So for example, if you enter here, once it makes the move up and breaks out, you're moving the stop around break even, just below this previous candle's low here. When it continues to move, you're moving your stop higher. You're always moving your stop higher. At some point, you see at resistance a reversal candle. So now you have to think, okay, this is a reversal candle. If I see the next candle below this previous candle's low, and because it is at resistance, I have to get out of here because it might reverse. And this is exactly what happens. And you see this over and over again. Look, every single bounce here is just getting sold off. So much harder on the long side right now. And those trailing stops protect you, because if you just enter and hold, it's not working. Jerome, nice to see you here. I have 4 tickers. I would love to hear what you think of the charts. Which were those 4 tickers? Just let me know. I have a lot of tickers. So let me know which are those. I'm going to try to cover the most which I have here. I just wanted to start at the beginning with some important lessons, again, about the stages of trading, which is very important, and about going through those phases also emotionally, and how can you protect yourself from disasters with those stop losses. Let me know those tickers again, and I'm going to discuss those. So that's something important. Here, same thing, look, I was long yesterday, NASDAQ, for example. That was a very nice trade. If I would have let it go and holding it, hoping that it is going to continue higher, I would have been now in a losses, So NASDAQ, I entered on the 1-hour chart somewhere around this area. I saw it is rejecting here, and I said, look, I'm going to put my stop below this candle because I don't want to give back anything. What happened is it pulled back. I tried again. This was in the evening. I entered again, made a nice move to resistance. I moved my stop to break even. This is how I just don't want to give anything back, because I don't trust those moves. And this morning it was based on news and all that kind of stuff. We saw this huge flush here, and now we're again at support. I longed the ES, which is S&P 500. So that's the strategy. You just need to be very fast here. 4 tickers: EV sector, high short interest. Okay, let's see. WKS. Yeah, I know this ticker. I know this one. This is going for a while to the downside, actually. This one is kind of going down for some time. Let me open up my pen. So, I personally, Jerome, don't like stocks which are downtrending. This has been now for some time in a downtrend. And so always it depends, what is your plan on this? So are you planning to just to take a quick trade, or do you want to hold for a longer period of time? So I don't like buying this kind of a price action, because it's hard to catch the bottom. The selling might continue. They might have short interest, but if they have short interest, I don't know since when this should have been bounced, actually. Even worse, if it's not bouncing with a lot of huge short interest, then this is not a good sign. So this selling off, I don't like. This is the previous support, 707. So we are now at 838. In order for me to be interested in buying this, I would like to see it here touching this 707. So this is again the 7 area, which is whole number as well. And if I see it going here and make some kind of a reversal candle, let me pull up the pen. If it makes something like this, a reversal candle followed by another green candle right at support. I am going to buy this, yes, but not right now. This is just right now not ready for me because it might continue. Of course, it can bounce also from here, but for me, that's not perfect. So I always want to see the perfect or the picture perfect setup. And I'm going to check for you real quick the fundamentals here. Again, you can check that on chartmill.com. And personally, I like using it because it is free. You can make a quick check, you know. You don't have to go into detail deep, but you can make a quick check what's going on here with the company. So you see the profile, you see what they're doing, technology company, which engages in the provision of sustainable solutions to the commercial transportation sector. So yeah, I know this company. I'm just trying to show also for the other viewers how to find this. Profitability. It looks not too bad though. Look, profitability shows here on the first side, return on assets 7.25%, profit margin, which is all of a sudden huge. Valuation seems to be, the price earnings ratio seems to be good, cheaper than the industry average, which is 11. So this looks not too bad. Based on the fundies, Jerome, which I'm seeing here, it looks really not bad. Growth is actually good too, based on what I'm seeing. The earnings per share has grown by 150 to 61% over the past year. So this is a good sign. Shows a strong growth in revenue. Well, it looks good. So the fundies look not bad actually. The only thing what concerns me is that you just don't have here momentum. So even though the earnings are good, or at least looking good on the first side, the fundamentals, and you have good growth, you have profitability, you have even good valuation. So normally if you have growth stock, it will be the majority of the time very overvalued. In this case, it is in this case it is actually not overvalued and still a growth stock. So that's actually a good sign. The only thing here is the trend. I don't like the current trend. Let me see a little bit, zoom further out. So if you zoom out, you see a nice breakout. This was previous support, 1890. That's why I have a drawing here. That was the 1890 and 1540. So those are previous resistance areas. And we saw this broke below, and since then it's just downtrending. It got rejected here 3 times. So this is a big resistance here. Overall, if you want to hold it, maybe it's not too bad, but then you have to think the better entry would be here, 7. And based on the short interest, maybe that's not bad. Yeah, not too bad. Let's see right and X and NUE. Right, I remember about this. This was going up recently. Yeah, right is a similar situation. It is in a downtrend. Again, I personally don't like buying stocks in a downtrend. It look, every single time is trying to. So here is something. Compared to WKS, this was in an uptrend, which is now short-term going lower. And I explained you the stuff with the cycles. You entered just from a nice uptrending cycle to a distribution, and now on a downtrending cycle. This might change because you have on WKS not bad fundamentals with actually some decent growth and valuation. This might change on WKS. Now here, based on the chart picture, you just see a completely different picture. This is here, it was here, but this is just since this breakdown of this area 13 is just all the time downtrending. So this is overall a downtrending chart, and every single time it tried to bounce and break out through resistance here, which we have also the 200 EMA here. Every time it came into the 200 EMA, it got rejected, and it's just going lower. Look, it doesn't have enough power. Now the next rejection here, you have the 50 EMA, you have this reversal. The question should be, are we gonna break above? So if we break above this area and maybe pull back here, that would be a great sign. But for now, it is just trying very hard to bounce, but it's not. So let me see also real quick the fundies on this one. Shorts are hurting. Yeah, well, you know, that happens. You need to look at the overall price action. So what is the overall price action and what is the chart telling you? Because a lot of times, like I mentioned, that's why I'm mentioning this with those stages. A lot of times you will have great fundamentals, but the stock still will go down. The chart will not give you the clue that that's a great company. It will still go down. So that's why we're trading based on the chart, and the chart for now doesn't look very good. So let's see real quick the fundamentals on this one. Okay, what was that, right? Right, what is it doing? Automotive as well. Yeah, you said that's in the automotive and industry. Fundamentals, look, this looks now worse, you know, compared to your WKS. You have here profitability are negative, so they're just not making money. That's a bad sign. And valuation, it doesn't really matter because they're losing money. Strong negative growth on earnings per share. Earnings per share decreased by 753% last year. So this is huge decreasement, you know. This is I personally, about WKS, I could agree, see, okay, this might bounce, this looks good, it's not too bad. This one is just, they're losing money, decreasing growth, downtrending chart. That's, you gotta be careful with this one. Okay, and let's see the last one, X. But this is how you can check real quick, you know. You don't even need to go into detail or overwhelm yourself with reading filings. Of course, for those of you who want to read the filings on the sec.gov, you can go deeper and read those filings. But United States Steel, well, this is for me a solid company, X, you know, nothing wrong with it. Currently experiencing just a sideways price action. And again, this is what I told you about those stages of every trader, which you see on the chart. And those are also the cycles, which I'm brainwashing every single person about cycles, but that's the reason, because they are just important to understand. This has been easy. This was here easy, but now look, this is just a mess. So what do you do here now? If you entered at the breakout, now you're underwater, you know, and it's just hard to make money in this case. So if you're in this, I don't know where, of course, it's your entry, but you just need to understand you will go through those cycles. And if you enter bad and for example, start to trade breakouts or stuff like this, this is just not working. What you can do is, like I mentioned, if you using stop losses. So for example, if you entered here at the breakout, you know, normally your stop should be below the previous low, but because it is too wide, I would personally use tight stop loss. So at some point you're going to get stopped out. Let's say you entered somewhere here at support. Now you entered here, your stop is below. Now it's going up, you're moving your trailing stop up. Now you're stopped out. Okay, but for profit. Now you're entering back in again. So you're entering back in here in this green candle because you're saying, okay, this is still holding, looks green, I'm gonna enter. And now you're trailing the stop again. So you're basically moving your stop below the previous candle's low if it's not an inside bar. Inside bar means this. So this is our outside bar, a candle. And inside bar is when you have the body of the candle in this bigger candle. When you have this, you are not moving the stop loss here in this candle. You're just leaving it where it is. So this is the difference, by the way, how you can do that. And this is how you can just secure fast profits. Personally, okay, you're not in this. Personally, I would wait it out. This is just a choppy price action. I would not enter this. Nice to see you here, bad scientist. Nice to see you. So that's how it works. I have a lot of stocks, other stocks also here on the watch list, or not on the watch list, but from you to discuss. So let's start with some of those. I have COAI, Clough, BBIG, Fubo, DATS, Sophie. So a lot of stocks. Sophie. This one I've discussed a lot of times also on Benzinga. Looks like people are interested in that. And I see here I have my guest, Duck. Duck Rumor is here. I'm going to put him live in a few minutes here so he can tell us also his view on those stocks. Okay, so this Sophie, we discussed a couple of times ago. Also, we discussed that on Benzinga a couple of times. We have here, this is, again, this has been nice uptrending. What we're entering is a messy cycle. And this has been a good support area, this 40. So if you're gonna buy this, definitely watch for something around here, around 14, with trailing stops, of course. Other than this, it's sideways. So I don't like the current price action. I like to see more momentum. So if I'm gonna buy, I wanna see something which is just have more momentum. This is not enough momentum here on Sophie. So it is currently downtrending. Technically, it is below the 200 EMA, and it is just choppy or more sideways price action. So I don't like this for a trade. There are different other better stocks out there. Then we have, what else do we have? We have BBIG. Now this is a little bit more momentum on this one. But, this is just a little bit low price stock. I don't like those kind of stocks for long. I just don't like to hold them. Because if you hold this, I don't know if this is a pump here. So if it is a pump and you're holding, and then, well, what if they just make an offering, the company, and then all of a sudden it gaps down and opens here, and then you're totally underwater. So, I would personally be careful with those things. I don't know what BBIG is doing. Why is it so much up here? This is, of course, a huge percentage move from 3 to 12. If it is really something to trust, or is it just a pump, we can check that. In the meantime, let me add Duck here to the stream. Hey, Duck, nice to see you. How are you doing?
Hey, am I on?
Yes, you're on. You're live.
Who's in the house with me?
What are you doing? What are you trading?
I'm talking to you right now. Let me turn the light on so my beauty can shine through. There we go. Is that better?
Yes, that's better. So we're talking about BBIG. What do you think about BBIG?
Oh, no. This is like a pump, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looks like a pump.
I'm sure you checked the fundies on this. No, this is, if you're going to trade this thing, sure. But if you guys don't really understand what a pump or the pump and dump scheme is, you go back, you look at, who was it? Nero? Was that? Yeah, here's a couple I think you had for a while back. You had Nero, ENDP. There's a bunch of, I'm forgetting a ton of these. You have this OPAD right now, OPAD.
Yeah, but what is the news here? Let me see real quick. If someone knows the news or why is it that much up, you can let us know, guys. So I want to know always why is it up, because if this kind of a stock, if a stock reaches $3, all of a sudden goes to $12, that's sketchy. That is very sketchy to me. So I want to know, why is this up? Is this based on pump because Twitter is saying this is the next big runner and you have to buy and get rich overnight? Or is this because it's some solid news and something behind this?
Yes. Well, I could, you guys do whatever you want with your own money, but I would say this. Hello, Jerome, and hello, Gittle. Gittle, wow, I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
Anytime you see a chart that's been dead for a long period of time, and then all of a sudden you start seeing these big old candles everywhere, just just stay away from that. That's normally a pump. It's a float burner where they've turned over the float a couple of times and squeezed shorts. The thing is, those have a very small shelf life. If you're looking for long-term plays or good trading or good stocks, you need something in the cheap area that has a good outlook, good fundamental, not this glossy stuff that's printed up or stuff that's pushed around on internet boards. That's just you're going to get screwed. But I would say this, there's only a handful that make it from that cheap price to the big price. There's a reason they're down there. So just
I don't see also
BBIG,
I don't see the news,
that's just a squeezer, right?
Yeah, and I don't see why is this so much up. So personally, I would be careful if you're buying. Again, the problem is if someone is pumping the stock, what can happen, and what a lot of people are not aware of, I think, is some of those companies are pumping the stock in order to make offering, and when they offering the stock, that's not a good thing. That's a dilution. Then the stock might open up with a gap down, and then they might do offering at the end of the day. If you're holding, then you're gonna wake up the next day with a huge drawdown. So that's something to be aware of. If you use proper risk management, it's good, but just be aware of some announcement of offerings, and then all of a sudden you might see a gap down. So let's see what else do I have here. I pulled some of the stocks which Twitter gave me. Sense, SPCE. Okay, Sense. This is another lower priced stock as well. This is a little bit better though. So not all low price stocks are bad. I want to say that those are bad. I brought up actually one stock recently which made a nice move. And, look, this went higher. It's holding here pretty well, support. This looks not bad based on the chart. If I look the recent price action, it is still going actually nicely up, broke out here, consolidating, holding this support area of 3, what is that, around 3, and pulling back here. So as long as it stays here above this 3 area, above this support area, that's a good stock. Target is previous resistance. So if you want to buy those, you always need to wait for a pullback into this previous support for some kind of a reversal candle with confirmation around support. That would be your buy, and exit around resistance. So that's what I would prefer to do. What do you think about Sense? Do you like this, Doug?
It's not too bad. In my professional opinion, not too bad.
Yes, I am not 100%.
It seems like it's kind of dead right now, doesn't it? Like it's just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah, I'm not convinced about this one as well. By the way, here's one.
Doesn't mean that it won't go higher, but I don't know what everybody's investment and trading strategy is. If you're investing in something, I guess you can buy something like this for speculation reasons and leave it sit. If you're trying to generate an incredibly large return consistently, you have to be subject to stocks and assets that are moving, that are currently moving. This is not moving. It's just sitting there. You need some signal, either higher or lower out of this base, to give you a sign of what you should do with this. Yes. I don't see anything here. I don't see a reason to take it right now unless you just got a few bucks and you love the story and you've done some fundy research and you're like, hey, I love this thing. I got to own it.
Yeah, I agree. This is one which was actually on the watch list, which I brought if you're talking about lower price stocks for the members in Bellrock Pro. So this was actually a nice move, pullback as well. And look, it went for a while sideways, and this is what I want to see. This had not bad fundies though. This is a cheap stock, but it doesn't have a bad fundies. It has some growth potential. And it was holding here for a while, this support area. So this is where I brought this up. Started to go sideways for a while, making higher lows, and broke out above this nice wedge. So you see this wedge here. Broke out above this. And look what happened is this is a nice momentum. This is one of the setups which I like to trade to. If it goes sideways for a while and then this breakout based on momentum. So I do like some of those cheaper stocks, but you just need to be aware what are you trading. The majority of those might be sketchy. Then I have here SPCE.
Why are we? Why do we always talk about space? What is it with this thing?
People like this.
Why do you guys keep bringing up space?
I guess
No,
people like that.
Not yet. Well, it is. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but
yeah, this is I've been trading it in the past. That was good. The problem is
a daily chart isn't too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad, but it's not good either. So I want to focus on good.
It's under the 200-day moving average, and it's been like that since since the 5th of August. That's I don't know.
Yes, I agree. We have here a downtrend, and it bounced off this nice support. So you saw those lines are always support, which means previous lows somewhere on the chart, which are significant, which means you might see a bounce of this area. So we saw this bounce here and broke out. This was actually based on the news. Now, of course, if you're chasing here, you're just gonna get burned, cheesed.
You're gonna get some cheese.
Yes.
Deutschland cheese, right?
That's why we're never chasing. And what happened, it just lost momentum, didn't even make it to the previous resistance, starting to lose momentum here, broke down and started to downtrend, making lows. And now you can see if the stock is in a downtrend, now it is just below this moving averages, which is also a bearish sign. So the longer it trades below those moving averages, the worse for the stock. So it's just downtrending here, trying to make a base, but I just don't see any setup currently. It's not breaking out. For me, a possible setup will be if we break out above the 200 EMA, pull back and maybe have a little bit of a consolidation or some kind of a sign to enter. That would be good. So that is a good setup. For now, just nothing to do. We have Snow, Life. Okay, let's check those out. Snow and Life. Snow, I remember this stock. A lot of people were talking about that. Its recent IPO made a nice move, and since then, look, it's just downtrending. Finally, it broke out. So this is what you want to see. If you're looking at the downtrending stock, this is a good example, actually. You want to see that it breaks this downtrend like we saw here. So look, it broke this downtrend, started to trade above the 200 EMA. Now it starts to look decent. Pull back into the 200 EMA and had a bullish engulfing candle here. So you have one green candle. The next candle opens above this green candle. A small reversal candle here as well. Let me zoom in for you guys if you don't see that. So you see that here. Small reversal candle, another green candle, continuation higher. This is your long setup. So until then, you just didn't have anything to do because it was downtrending. Now it's finally reversing here, made this nice move, again, pull back here into the 200 with this reversal candle, and continued higher, was confirmed, continued higher. Now it made this move. So I don't know if the person who asked about this for long term or what, but it made this move. Now I don't want to chase it here because the probability that it might pull back is very high. So I want to see just a pullback first and then go from there, which means something like this. So again, always draw your support and resistance lines. Look here, we're right at resistance. This here, if you look back in the chart, was the previous high and resistance, which got rejected a couple of times. And now we're trading right at this area. This is 325. So I'm not saying it's going to reject there, but the probability that it might reject are very high. That's why I would personally not long it here. It made a nice move. So what I want to see in order for me to long is to pull back somewhere into the 50 EMA, even better 200 EMA, and then starts to make some kind of a doji candle again, something like this, some bullish engulfing, some bullish candlestick pattern, then I'm going to be interested for long. Now it made the move already. Now you're late for the party.
I actually kind of like that chart. Yeah.
But do you want a long now or what?
No, not right now, like this moment, but I do like it. Maybe it could, I guess, hang out there for a little. That's not a bad chart, though. It's a nice little grind up, but it is a little bit late. Maybe pull back into one of those moving averages. Yeah.
Well, yeah, if it pulls back here, might be not. I don't like buying this. I know you could, but I'm not.
That's probably, that probably is a good sign. So that's a good sign. Now, somebody was mentioning life. I would put this right there with BBIG. It was just a recent squeeze. And I guess a glimpse of those would be like this IPHA today. If anybody was watching this thing, oh my, IPHA. Look at the ramp and dump on this.
Life. Oh, life is a total pump. Just be careful with this kind of stuff. So if, again, there's a couple of ways to trade this. If you are trying to swing trade those, I would personally be really careful about holding longs overnight like this, because that is just, again, it's extended, it is pumped, it is manipulated. You don't know what's going to happen. All those people might, or the company might come up with some kind of what I already mentioned, with some offering, and you might see a big dump. So this stock doubled. If you're looking to long here, you're just late. You cannot long it here. So a couple of ways to trade this kind of stuff. If you're into that, I personally am not a fan of this, but you can intraday, go intraday and trade that intraday as a day trade. I personally, because I just like more to short those pumps, I would like for it to, to top somewhere around some resistance area and short that. I don't like buying this because I just don't trust it. Now look, it's squeezed a little bit here, but I don't trust it. What you can do is, if you like to buy those, is also intraday, look for some support area to buy. Like this was here, a support. And then buy here, back here on the 5-minute chart. It made this was here a buy. Now if it pulls back here around 970 or 970 or 930, that will be intraday if you want to buy. I don't trust those companies for a buy. I just have the feeling if I enter that, they're gonna make an offering and we're gonna dump.
That's how I would feel. I would buy it at the wrong time and we get halted for like months, like CCME. Now let me shift gears and take everybody to really old people stocks.
Okay.
For old people and slow stuff. Just want your viewpoint. Master, can I call you mastress? Is that a good word? Is that a word for a female master? A mastress. Okay. Qualcomm. This thing's getting beaten up pretty bad. I know it's not ready like right now today.
Oh yes,
just maybe. Like you had this Auto Nation you brought up last week, which was really, really good. Same kind of ordeal. Pretty good stock getting beaten down for a while. For a swing trade, you see what happened with that one. APPS, some of these others that you've mentioned before. I don't know. What do you think?
APPS.
This
APPS nice. I think you traded. Didn't you trade this one?
200-day moving average is 110.34.
Which are you talking about? Qualcomm?
I'm talking about what did you say? What did I trade? APPS?
I was APPS because you mentioned.
Yes, but we were in this APPS all the way down there at the bottom pivot. So
I didn't buy this. I didn't even watch it. Very good, nice.
Oh, okay. Then I'm the one that's got all the money here.
Yeah.
It was at $50.
I don't think
this
so.
thing was bought at $50.
Nice job. No, I didn't see it. I don't.
On the first green day after, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 straight down days, and then you had a little green day there.
Yeah, those work very good. I like that kind of stuff. Same like PGNY, by the way, just to give you guys an example what I'm looking for here. I brought this here on our watch list here. I said, well, it's not ready. It's kind of rejecting. And now the moment it was ready was here. And I didn't take it because I have a lot of other trades. But this was our bullish engulfing candlestick pattern, where it stops, it makes a green candle, bullish engulfing candle. And if you enter here with a stop below, it just, this thing completely took over straight into resistance. And actually I thought, well, this is gonna reject, but it's not. It just goes straight up. So this is went from 40, what is it, 45 or something to 62. So only in a couple of days, 20 bucks. You don't need, guys, you don't need a lot of trades. You can pick one, just pick one and trade the price action. You can just pick, even if you pick this, you can short it here or long it here at some point when it reverses. You know, you don't need a lot of things to make money. Less is more. Okay, what was it, Qualcomm?
Yeah, I got, it's in a really long, it's been going the whole month down. It's had like one green day this whole month. There is support like around 132. And then you've got a little bit more down there at 122, right? 123. I think I would like 123 on this, but I don't know. It's not ready right now, but maybe something to look at here. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I've been watching it with all those other semiconductors like AMD, NVIDIA. You know, I'm a big fan of all those. And this is one of those which is a growth company, very nice. Again, I want to mention here for our viewers what I mentioned with the stages of a trader and also cycles, which you see stages of a trader, you can translate to cycles again. Let me remove this thing here a little bit so we can see it better, and remove the drawings real quick so we can see that better. Remove. Okay. So again, this was, I've been trading it here actually. This was easy. You're throwing money at it, it works. It just hold, it goes up. Never give up on this, it holds. And then again, what I mentioned, at some point, it just stops working. Then you have this mess, and then you're giving profits back. Then you have to, this is what's translated to the stages of trader, which is then it starts to go slowly up. And this is how your account might look like on your emotions sometimes. So the problem is this: I really like the whole company. I like the stock. I would like to buy it right away, but for a trade. But I just don't like the price action, because look, here is finally started to look like, okay, this is gaining momentum. I brought it on the watch list here. Here it was another possible entry, but it just doesn't want to hold those levels. It's, for some reason, every time it reaches some short-term resistance, sellers are stepping in and they're just pushing this price lower. And now look, it got destroyed today in the last couple of days. It's just not a strong uptrend. So for now, I agree with you. We gotta wait until it starts to bottom a little bit more. It would be perfect, of course, if it comes into the 124 support, which is a longer, bigger support area back here. Support, you know, you see that those are the lows. So if it comes here, that would be perfect for me. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to wait and see for some consolidation. But for this, I would really prefer to see more pullback.
Any views, Starbucks? I call it Star Sox.
Oh
right
boy!
Because this was really bullish.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know what happened here. Did somebody?
I know what happened. I'm gonna tell you.
Did somebody get poisoned with coffee or something, or what?
No.
Did you talk about this already?
Starbucks, you know, the thing was is I was actually in this trade and I got lucky. This is really, well, a little bit of a luck, but you need that sometimes.
You mean like the last 8 years of your trading, right?
No. You
when
cannot
you're talking
be
about lucky, you're talking about like your whole entire trading career.
You can be lucky in 2020. You know, 2020, every single person in the world can make money. But this year is hard to make money. It's much harder. So what I did with the Starbucks, I've been watching this for a while. You know, it had very nice move here, pull back into support. I bought it at some point. I don't remember if I bought it here or here. But basically, I bought it, and then I thought also to my subscribers, you know what, I want to trail the stop on this one because I just don't feel comfortable in this market. So my stop was, I saw this reversal candle, this here. And I said, if it goes, then this red candle, and I said, if it goes below this previous candle's low, this is where I'm trailing my stop. So I'm putting my stop there, and I'm going to get stopped out. I got stopped out here for actually small profits. And look what happened. The next day is just dumped. And I'm like, what happened? I actually like this stock. I was thinking to re-enter. So I go back and read the news, and they are just institutions loading off this chart. So they're just selling shares. That's this is when the big boys are doing this. We are just here small people. We can't do anything. So that's what happened. Institutions are selling this stock. I don't know the reason, but they are loading off this stock. That's why.
Okay. Well, I guess maybe we'll see. I don't know if either one of these are, no, neither one of these are ready right now, but maybe.
But it's not, I would be scared
next week, because this market's feeling like it's getting a little bit of the grated cheese sprinkle on it, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
And it's like a weak little newborn deer or something stumbling around here. Yeah, here's this, it's like kind of struggling to bounce. It's 3 days in a row with the same pattern, with this huge washout bull trap, in the morning, followed by a bounce. We're not bouncing. It's already like 10 o'clock in the morning over here.
Yeah. I'm just so tired of this, to be honest with you. I've been every single day, I'm trying to buy the dip. And it's, first of all, you're getting slapped in the face. First thing you know.
It doesn't work now. What are we going to do? Buy the dip is dead, guys. What are we going to do?
And the problem is, first I have to experience pain, and then at some point I might get something small out of the market. And it's just so hard. You have to work hard for those trades recently. That's why I brought this important topic today with this stages of a trader, where that is just part of the game. No one on earth can be perfect, or there are stages again where you're throwing money, you make everything work, and then stages like that you're just fighting really hard to swim above the water and not sink in deeper. But I think that's just part of the business. It is normal, unfortunately, and we're at this stage right now where it is choppier. The whole year has been not very easy, so that's that.
You've had to work a little. Did you tell them about the controlled substance phase, that part?
No, what is that?
You don't know. Okay, you're English. Yeah. Like the drunken phase, the substance. When you get into that phase where you're like, oh, I've had enough of this. Where's the whiskey?
Oh, I do have this phase. I'm like, every day I feel like, is it not 5? Can I just not start right now?
But isn't that the beauty of what it is that we do? I mean, it's a really unique career when you embark down this path. You and I had this conversation the other day. Like, if you really think about it, you never really have a good day at trading, do you? Like, even when you have a good day of trading, you're complaining about, like, you can make $10,000 and go, oh, I could have made 11, right? Oh, I should have held, right? There's always something that you can complain about when it comes to trading. There's always, it's like the greatest hindsight business of all time. Like, you look,
it's so easy hindsight, That's why I never like unfortunately, that's where we are at currently in this kind of a new technology, and everyone is like bragging with stuff. But if you cannot show real-time performance, everyone can come up, oh, I made so much money, oh, I did that, oh, it's just not as easy as it looks like. And good guys, for all of you out there, it's just normal to experience all of this. That's just a hard business. And I've been actually, I don't know who I talked with recently, maybe it was you, but it's like I've been through so much in my life, going from Bulgaria, having nothing, migrating to Germany, trying to learn a new language, trying to study there, trying to compete with all actually the native speakers there, finding a good job in a very good company. So all this kind of stuff, what I've been going through was hard, but I feel like trading is much, much harder. It's a completely different level of something what I can call hard. So it's much harder than all of this. All my immigrations to different countries, studying in different language, having a degree in a university, finding a good job, all this was compared to trading easy. You know, what does that tell you?
That I don't know. You don't like trading? Trading
No.
is hard. Is that what you're saying?
Trading is hard.
It
Yes.
can't. It's challenging. Yes,
It
of
is
course.
hard. That's what
You
I'm
have your
trying
good
to
days
do.
and your bad days.
Very,
You guys
very
just got to
hard.
duke it out. Hang in there, right? Got to hang in there and keep it going. But
It's just not easy as it looks
a
like.
lot of the pain can be avoided by avoiding some of these pump and dumps and some of these
Oh yes,
pump scams. It's really easy to get that going. When I first started, it was a little bit harder. They had to send out emails and actual flyers and letters in the physical mail. Now with all these chat rooms popping up everywhere, that's kind of what it's all about. And I would caution anyone, I guess a good clue to that is if you're in a room that's not charging you any money at all, and they're talking about 1 to 2 stocks, and they're very, very cheap with an extremely low float to them, it's a pumper. That's why they want you in there. They don't want you to pay a subscription. They want you to buy the stock so it goes higher and they can sell into you. It's
very
that's
dangerous.
What it normally means, because they're not doing it out of the goodness of their heart. They're not somebody's, hey, look, I really want to help you, so buy some of this beautiful life stock, right? You know, or what is it? CEI? Is that the current pump going on here?
I don't know what are the current pumps, but I definitely agree with you.
That's your clue. Like they're not giving that out for free. That's to get every, a couple thousand. Some of these rooms have 20, 30,000 people in some of these little Discord chats. So if 20,000 people buy this and the stock only trades 50,000 of volume a day before it starts, well, those people tell their friends and they tell their friends, and you can get yourself a sophisticated little pump going on out there.
Absolutely. If they're low volume,
you can buy that. I'm not saying you can't buy that. That's a good idea, actually, to some degree. Just know what you're getting yourself into, because those that are bag holding and think it's going to go to these ridiculous price targets of 10 or 20. No, just ride it for as long as you can. And when the signs are there, just get out of it. That's
I agree with you. It's those are some chats are free or even low price chats where they don't really care for like you said, for education or something like that. They're just actually pumping it into the subscribers, and that's bad. Gidel is saying trading has kind of changed your personality. Absolutely, very true, and it makes you get to know yourself even better as a person. Than out of the trading life. So
yes, that's true, Gidel, because when I first met Sylvia before she was a trader, she was very nice. Now she's not. She's really mean and inconsiderate. So, you're right. It did change her personality. It's made her very rude.
It really can make you lose patience sometimes or get out of control, have more temper tensions. That's totally normal, though.
I promise I was nicer before this.
I don't know how it was in your case. Anyways, we are already out of time. So thank you so much, everyone. And Doug, of course, thank you for joining. It was a pleasure to talk to you and see your view of the things. And also to our viewers, thank you so much for joining. I might make this here on a regular basis every Friday. So if you want me to do this every Friday, I see most of the viewers left, but if you want me to do it every Friday live here, type in 1. So I'm gonna, or 2, no, 1, type in 1. So I'm gonna do it every Friday. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. And maybe I'm gonna do it next Friday so we can talk one more time.
All right. I appreciate it. It was nice to see everyone, and take care. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too. Thank you. Bye.